Hey, Juan, you hear that?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Who's that? Who's this? Who's this rapper? You know who this rapper is?
Come
Yeah.
on, Juan B. Don't act like you don't know who it is,
Oh,
homie.
I know the girl from Philly, Eve.
Yeah, but see, y'all got the girl from Boston, so it's Eva.
I'm giving you a clue, man. Somebody's taking over the show, man.
Oh, there is? Damn, I don't see Eve here.
You such a hater. Already we starting. Listen, you're not going to be able to talk to the new host like that. I'm not going to keep taking all of them words wrong. But yes, it is your girl, Eva. I'm taking over podcast this evening. I want to know how y'all doing. First off, I'm gonna start with my homie Juan down there. How you doing this Sunday?
I'll be great if you take me off of child support. That's why me and her got conflict world. She got me paying alimony, child support. I'm living out here in a cardboard box. Got me working 3 jobs like the Heyman from In Living Color. I'm just telling you, it ain't right.
Heyman, hey.
No, I'm doing good. And also welcome. It's always wonderful to have you on here. And I think people might enjoy us going back and forth with the boxing match. But I'm gonna tell people that Will Smith, Jada, it happened between us first. I got a black eye to prove it.
Listen, y'all and you see everybody, that's why he don't got his camera on because boom bow, boom bow. Hey
guys, is that what happened?
Hello, good afternoon or good evening.
I know, depending on where we are. Keys, what's up? How you feeling this Sunday?
How's it going, man? How's everything? Everything's good, man. I'm happy that I'm here. I'm happy, blessed to have another day. What's going on, Dmitra? What's going on, Red? This is the Eva takeover. Dmitra, she's taking over the show. She's gonna be the host today. So so basically for the 71 episode, the Passive Podcast episode 71, Slap to the Future. No one else was giving me any titles, so I just made one up. So that's what we're talking about, the slap across the world. We're not just talking about it. We're going to talk about healing. And Eva, let us know, why you wanted to take over the show, and let us know also, why'd you bring up this topic and get us into the topic. I got all your notes written down.
All right, you got all my notes. So
yep.
I can't even believe that this even happened. And sorry, I'm just changing locations for a second. So I really wanted to talk about this because of two things. If you, like many of us have grew up watching The Fresh Prince, to see somebody that we idolize, like Will Smith, kind of be brought down to that level is kind of concerning for me. And again, I know a lot of people have followed their family. I know a lot of people follow Jada with her table talk and things like that. I really wanted to analyze this from the Black community perspective, because I feel like a lot of people that are talking about it and are commenting on it, they're kind of doing it as an in the moment. And in the moment for me is in the moment. Was it right? Was it wrong? What should have happened? What should have not happened? But the truth of the matter is that incident is going to go a lot deeper. Fair to say. In the Black community, we know the struggles of mental health. We know the struggles of blended families and things like that. And so I just thought it was important to try to, to talk about it, because there are people in marriages and things like that do have certain situations, whether it's an open marriage, whether, they're getting over infidelity, whatever the case may be. We're seeing it happen in real life on a different level. Nobody here is Hollywood, but we're seeing that Black people are still struggling with mental health. And I really think it's important to kind of analyze it. So are we into this conversation? We ready to have it?
We ready, man. We ready.
I'm ready.
But before we do that, we always talk about, we got fact checker news. Eva, I know you're taking over the show, but we can talk about the topics that are at hand. I picked the topic, and one of them is your topic. My topic is Eddie Murphy turned 61 today. I just wanted to just reach out and say happy birthday to the legend, the king Eddie Murphy, the comedian, the actor, the everything. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure he's your favorite something. You know what I mean? So anybody want to shout out Eddie Murphy?
Listen, Norbit is a different type of funny. Matter of fact, everything that he does is just hilarious. I still be thinking about that man in that purple leather suit though. I mean, listen, Juan, y'all be talking about how sexy y'all brothers is. That was sexy right there.
So when he's in those tight leather suits?
Yeah. What you mean? Listen, what you know about sexy?
Listen, I don't know about that leather suit, but I did love them in Harlem Nights, though.
Yes, definitely. There's nothing smoother than brothers in tuxes, that's for sure.
So happy birthday, Mr. Eddie.
Happy birthday.
Dmitra, Eddie Murphy, anything about Eddie Murphy? Anything?
So I'm of a different generation. So when I think of Eddie Murphy, I think of Dr. Dolittle.
Yes.
Wow.
Kyla Pratt, Raven Simone. That was a good movie. That was a good movie, definitely. Well, happy birthday. So the second thing I want to talk about, have you guys heard that our new mayor is charging some of our local restaurants, not some of them, local restaurants, whether it's in Mattapan, Dorchester, all the way down to the North End, $7,500 dining fee to dine outside.
What?
Yes.
Hold on, saying it's extra what?
$7,500 for each restaurant that wants to participate in the dining outside program. Now, remember, it started because when Mayor Walsh was here, we were giving opportunities to restaurants to still make money without being inside with all the back and forth with the COVID and stuff. So a lot of restaurants were kind of upset about, having to pay this extra money when dining outside is an experience that everybody has had. And especially Boston, there are certain areas, North End, downtown, Seaport, that are, known for their dining outside experiences. So what you think, Juan, you still dining outside?
I haven't been to no restaurant since COVID started. So dining in or out doesn't matter to me. I think dining outside is not a good choice. Our streets already narrows enough. So how a car is going to, get by or depending on the street, are you even going to be able to drive by there? And how about if you live there? How are you going to park? That's, concerns.
Yeah, well, I think she's more so talking about, like, how you can go to like Cheesecake in Braintree and they have the dining outside option. You can dine inside, you can dine outside. But if the restaurant has already been participating in dining outside, I really don't get the extra $7,500 fee.
I guess they're probably trying to make up for the taxes that they may have lost during COVID, but that was out of everybody's hands. So I don't think small businesses should pay for that because they're still trying to recover and retain people. So if you do that, then you're forcing other small mom and pop places to close down. So, hey, Mayor, get your act together. I know you live in the suburbs, but come down here to the reality. Don't hurt us.
She lives in Rosendale, if anybody knew that. Yep, she lives right in Rosendale. But Keith, what you think? Like, are any of your favorite restaurants outside? Like, when I think of outside, I always think of like the Clam Box, even though that's in Quincy. But
the Clam Box. No, I get it. I don't eat out a lot, but when I do eat out, I do know the spots in Boston. I know the spots that you're probably referring to, and it's too bad that this is happening to them because it's going to reflect on the customers. That's going to be on the bill. That's going to be on our bill. It's going to hit us. It's going to hit the customers. It's not going to. I mean, they're gonna have to eat that. Then we're gonna have to eat that. We're gonna be eating food, and we're gonna be eating an extra tax.
Right. So you think they're gonna add on?
Oh yeah. Some way or another. They got to make their money back. Like you said it. It's a bad time for them to to do this because everyone's trying to recover. But I mean, everyone's losing money because of inflation or just whatever, taxes going up or whatever. So.
Yeah, I mean, I hope they work it out because I like to eat outside, but I really want my favorite restaurants being tax extra for whatever the case is. Juan, you're right. It could be for, missed taxes. It could also be because, the MBTA, the 28, the 23, they're all free now. And I've always wondered where's that money coming from? So this may be, an attempt to make up for, like you said, the money that are being reallocated to other places, other programs in the city.
I agree with Mark. I don't think they should because ultimately it comes down to us. You know, hardworking, tax-paying people, men and women, you know, who's just trying to survive now and, you know, just move up. But if this continues, I mean, for those who are trying to get passive income, you're going to make it even more difficult for them, which is going to be like, you know what, I'm not going to eat out. I'm just going to cook at home more. And these small businesses that trying to build something for their families and kids, it's no longer going to be there. I mean, we're already seen that happen during COVID. Now, this is like pretty much pushing them over the edge, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. So I think that's it for our fact checking news. So let's dive into I feel like people keep saying, you know, the slap heard across the world, because I kind of really feel like that's what that was. And I could have swore I did have the Oscars on that evening. I must have missed it, but hey. So to start this conversation off, like I said, I want to break down that moment into two different perspectives: in the moment and in reality. So first off, I want to get you guys' thoughts on in the moment. So let's examine it as a member of the Oscar. Let's say we were in the audience and we're sitting next to Meryl Streep and, you know, Bradley Cooper or whoever we're sitting next to, and we're watching it and it happened. So, Keys, I'm gonna ask you first. What is your first reaction? Is it right? Is it wrong? What should be happening next? What's going through your mind?
Let me just first tell you that I was because we had the show, right? And shout out to that show last week. You know, we did it. We're doing really good in numbers. People are watching that show. So shout out to the Passive Podcast and everybody was on it. Dmitra, you was on that show, Red. But yeah, like I'm watching it live because I'm like, oh, it seems like there's a lot of black people on there. That's weird. I had it on mute and I'm just doing my thing on the phone and I'm on social media, whatever I'm doing, you know, and so I go, oh shoot, they go, Chris Rock. I know he's gonna be funny, so I unmuted, and then I'm like, okay, and then I'm watching it live because it's live. It's a live show, right? Probably with a small delay, I'm guessing, right? Because it swears or maybe whatever. But you know, I see it live. But I'm thinking it's a joke. I'm like, it's the movies. It's funny. They did a joke. Something's going on, and then he like walks back like George Jefferson, and then he kind of like sits back cool. Then that's when he starts swearing and says, "Get your, take your, wife's name out your mouth." That's when I said, "Oh man, this is real. This is real. What's going on?" And then the way Chris Rock handled it was very professional. I think he was professional with it, and I think I have to appreciate him as a man. And then he not to press charges as well and stuff like that. And and I heard he was pressured to press charges, and he didn't, because it wouldn't have done anything, wouldn't have resolved anything. And shout out to Chris Rock and his family and how they handled it, and shout out to Will Smith and his family and how they need to heal. You know what I'm saying? But no, if I was there, I'd probably be just as stunned as everybody else. I probably had the old face, the whatever. I wouldn't know what to think,
Right.
But yeah.
Miss Meech, what about you? Let's say you're sitting a little bit over there and you heard bow, and what's going through your mind? Who's at fault? What are we thinking?
If I were in the audience, it would definitely, draw some questions to mind. And honestly, I feel like my initial reaction would be to be entertained by it, being that it was something shocking in the moment. But I would definitely have to sit back and kind of question, like, did that just happen? Was it staged?
Right.
And what led up to Will having that type of reaction?
Right. What's up, Juan? I've been dying to get your perspective on this. So let me tell you, I was like, when I saw it, I was like, yo.
So I'm gonna be honest. If I was sitting in the audience, I would have been like, oh snap, this really happened. Then I'll be looking like, for real, ain't nobody gonna stick up for Chris Rock. And it depends too. Like if I was in the audience and me and Chris Rock were like me and Mark, me and Charles, that close, I think I would have got up and they would have dragged me off because I probably would have jumped on Will.
Thanks.
Because I watching everybody comfort Will, I'm like, yo, Chris is the one that got smacked. And it wasn't even a brutal joke. He didn't, you know what I mean? All the jokes that Will dealt with prior to that, I'm like, for real? You're going to pick on a smaller dude? And everybody know, Chris spoke about him being bullied. So Chris ain't got no hands like that. But like I said, if I was sitting in the audience and I wouldn't see nobody jump up, I think I probably would have got up, pretend like I was going to walk away, and probably swung on Will.
Damn, like the Source Awards? Like just...
Oh, yeah. I would have been like Suge Knight. Death Row in the house.
All right. So let me just give you my in-the-moment analysis. I don't think anybody knew that it was real until he started hollering back on stage. And then Chris, dude, it was a joke type of situation. I literally think from the moment he said the joke to Will getting up, nobody was moving. And it kind of was like a movie slap. Like he had like this karate chop kind of pose going on. And then because Chris didn't come back at him like a normal person would react, it looked staged up until, like I said, the yelling. One of my questions was it the right time? Was it the right place? I mean, it's the Academy Awards. It's the Oscar. There's never a right time or place for violence. What should the consequences be? In a normal situation, whoever assaulted someone, that person gets escorted out. And Will recently resigned from the Academy. So was that the right thing to do? Yes. Now I want to be the first one to kick off the other perspective in reality. So in reality, Juan, let me tell you, brother, I think you are going to be very, very surprised at my perspective. I really do.
Oh, snap. Let me get the popcorn ready, people.
Let me tell you, like, all week, I've been thinking about, like, yo, we might actually, I don't know how you feel, so I'm not going to say agree. But I will say this. Now, I never caught an episode of Red Table Talk, but I've, read reviews on it and watched blurbs and things like that. I do think that Will and Jada, although they have a relationship that many of us have kind of grown up watching and, we want Will and Jada vibes and that type of thing. Although we've grown up with that, I think more recently, the facade that we have to be Will and Jada is not what we thought it to be. And it may not even be what Will thought it to be. And I say that to say, I know everybody is protect your Black woman to protect your Black woman. Black women need to be protected. All of that is absolutely true. However, not at the expense of your Black man. And I say that to say, after I watched all the videos from different angles, I actually saw an angle from someone recording behind Jada. And it was from Will walking back down from the stage to his seat. And Chris kind of, composed himself. It was like, damn, Will just slapped the shit out of me. And it was kind of like an awkward laugh, but Jada killed over and did one of those. Like I was really uncomfortable with that response because in the moment, yes, an Academy Award winner just smacked another fellow, actor, and that's effed up on TV, whatever. But in the moment, what this may mean for his career. And that's what I'm more upset about. Because although, yes, he was standing up and he was protecting his Black woman, I'm not really seeing in the recent days after Jada saying a damn thing in support of her husband. So that's concerning for one. The second thing is we really do need to hone in on the history of Will and Jada and Tupac, because, and let me say, as a wife, and me and my husband just had therapy session outside right before we started. I think it's very important that in relationships, everybody has an equal voice. And so although, there have been rumors or whether they had an open marriage and okay, they did, whatever situation she got herself in with that other man, to tell your husband that on national TV is dead ass wrong. I don't care if you are the host. That's like, Keith, you want to tell your girl something, you're going to bring her to the podcast because that's what we're talking about? No, that's not how you're protecting one another, because now your stuff is in the open. So that's that. When it comes to Will, if you analyze who he is and his characters that he's played, aside from his box office, like let's analyze The Fresh Prince. It's based off of him running from a fight. There were even episodes of people calling him a chicken and stuff back in Philly and all that other stuff. If you watch the more recent adaptation of Bel-Air, same situation, but they kind of hone in on the social media. So they were calling him out of his name over social media. Then you have his reality, which is he is married to a woman who has openly been affectionate towards another man, even in his, even in his death. Does anybody ever wonder, like when Pac's birthday comes up and Jada's penning this long ass letter about how much she loves him, does anybody ever think about how Will feels? What do you guys think?
Well, let me answer the Tupac situation between Jada and Will and the ghost of Tupac or whatever, because the guy's dead. Like, there should be no Tupac situation, right? Yes, she had a situation with them prior when they were young. Yes, they went to school together or something like that, art school, whatever it was. I get it. They had a strong connection. And yeah, she wrote a letter, and then I think even Willow wrote a letter when she was little that she was saying that something about, Mom, I'm just sad. I know you miss Tupac. So like, there's a lot of weird situations leading to like her walking around being depressed about Tupac in the house or something. Maybe like people, even the family's like, Mom, you okay about Tupac? That's weird. But like for her to keep it, for it to be this strong, I wonder if Tupac was as a big of an artist, would she be floating with his name in her mouth that this much? If he was just an artist that had maybe one hit and wasn't that popular, would he be a distraction? Would Tupac be a distraction in their marriage? I mean, I don't think Tupac is a distraction. I think that's old news and people are just layering on it. They just keep bringing it up.
I think people bring it up because it is very, I think it's relevant. And I don't think it's relevant for her. I think it's more so relevant for him because it adds to the insecurity that he's already vocal about having within his marriage. And so he actually wrote a memoir, and there was a piece in it that kind of really stuck out. He was saying that, his mom was abused by his dad, and he always felt powerless because he was never able to do anything. He's not the one that's going to speak up and things like that. But there was a time where his father was sick in a wheelchair and he was wheeling him past the stairs, and he was like, I could push him down the stairs and then it'll be done. Very weird reaction to have for a kid, but I mean that to say he always kind of felt like he was the powerless one. And he actually has a brother who he wrote that he feels like is more like Pac, and he wish he had that the whatever it is that attracts Jada, he wish he had that for himself. So when people, it may be people that are not letting it go, maybe it's not as big in the household as we're thinking it is, but you guys are actresses and you're actresses and you're in Hollywood and all that other stuff. People have access to your life, whether you like it or not. So even if that was an issue, and it's not an issue in the household, but everybody's kind of making it an issue, just kind of take that into consideration. I feel like his mental health is not well, and I feel like his wife is not helping. That's just me personally. I really feel like, I just really hope that the consequences that are going to come down for Will, because I feel like they're going to try to make an example out of him. Like we spoke about the pressuring of Chris to press charges. I just hope and pray that when the consequences do come down, whether at him no longer gets the scripts that he gets or whatever the case may be, I hope she protects him the same way he protected her. Because the only person that could have stopped that moment was Jada, and she didn't.
Well, I'm gonna chime in. There was also, something that probably affected Will about Tupac was when Willow wrote a letter to Tupac, even though he's not among the living, wish you was here because my mother misses you a lot. And I'm trying to look at it from Will's point of view as a man. Like, wow, first my quote unquote open relationship is out in public. Two, my children, we all seen them be unique in public, so that probably could add to his mental stress. Three, he's trying to have this squeaky image almost like Bill Cosby did, but unlike Bill Cosby, who had some more serious issues, that he's dealing with. Now his image is, was showing crack in the armor, And again, I think one of the worst thing he did was that table talk with his wife, because if you watch that interview, how she would call an entanglement, Will would be like, "What?" You can see, like, no, that's not what it was. Like, he's trying to be more like a man, but she's like emasculating him there on national TV. So I don't know if that had to do, plus issues when he was a child, if all that was just bubbling to the surface. And unfortunately, Chris Rock was just the person who caught the blunt of his emotional mental breakdown, Because if you watch, he was laughing at the beginning. That's like everybody else thought, oh, this was just a joke. But when he started swearing, keep, my wife's name out your mouth, it's and I'm not a big fan about seeing a therapist, but I think this time Will might need multiple therapists for different layers of his life. I don't think one therapist can help him at this point, And like you said, I hope Jada did post something. She said, time for healing, I'm here. Well, you should have been.
She's here for the healing. Who are you talking about? You talking about Chris's face? You talking about your husband's mental state? You talking about your own brokenness? Who you talk? That's not specific enough.
Yeah, and
because that slap was specific. Stop talking about my wife. Bam. Where's her? I'm just not seeing it.
No, and I'm grateful to have you women here to get your point of view, because I looked at it like, you should have stopped your husband from, as soon as you see him get up, you should have just grabbed him and said, you know what? Mm-hmm. You should have started the healing before you even went to the Academy Award if you had issues with Chris, because he said one bad joke a previous time. They show you guys hanging out. You guys didn't talk about it then. And according to Chris, he did not know about her health issue, or he wouldn't have done that joke, because he said he was at the time real good friend. Well, his brothers say he was real good friends with Will into that incident. So there's a lot of layers to this,
Yeah. Miss Meech, what you think? In reality, with all that we know about Will and Jada.
Mm-hmm. Well, first, thank you for, just shining light on things that he spoke about in his childhood that was new to me. I tend not to really pay attention to TV or the media, but I think it does amplify the situation because they are two Hollywood stars and well-known. It makes everything that much complex and layered.
Agree. Hey, Goddess.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Welcome. We talking about the slap heard across the world, girl. I know. So what do you think? So right now we're talking about in reality, analyze that, what that moment meant in reality. In reality, meaning you already know about the table talk. We know they're in an open marriage. One thing I did want to mention, like Juan said, there was, you remember in 2016 when there were no Black people nominated, people were boycotting, people weren't going. And Chris, for whatever reason, hosted. Now, I think it was a little whack for him to take the gig because nobody Black is nominated. And we need to start taking a stand and taking, accountability in the certain fights that we take on too. But in the midst of his opening monologue, he said something really distasteful and was like, Jada complaining about Black people not being nominated. I get it. But, her boycotting the Oscars is like me boycotting Rihanna's panties. Like, I wasn't invited there. You're getting kind of out of pocket right there. And that's where that conversation came on, where Will and Chris had that conversation like, bro, that was too much, because they weren't even there to hee ha ha to laugh or to smack you then. They weren't there. So you kind of already was warned about just honing in on them too. And then fast forward to the Red Table Talk in August and entanglement and all that other stuff. And now slap. So go pick it up.
Okay. All right. So, to be clear, I'm a fan of both. Okay, I have always been a fan of Chris Rock, and I've always been a fan of Will Smith. So I can never make a choice whether what I think who's better. They're two different people, and they're celebrities in their own field, you know. But with that being said, and with everything that we do know, like you said about the red table and all this other stuff, I honestly feel, and this is just my opinion, I feel like the camera showed Will laughing. And then all of a sudden, when Jada's face looked like she wasn't laughing, Will felt triggered, like, I need to man up. I need to show, you know, that I'm tough, even though he's not as tough as Tupac, but he needed to prove himself for whatever reason. Something inside him made him feel he needed to prove something. And then got up on stage and did that. And I think that considering that these are two comedians and these are two people that we all know, sometimes jokes are going to be distasteful. Sometimes jokes might be triggering. Sometimes these jokes might be a little too far. But how often have you seen someone come up on stage and assault another person, you know what I'm saying, for making a joke that that hurt them? That could have been something that got taken, you know, off camera. They could have been like, we're going to have to shut the show down for something. But for Will to get up and to just walk up on stage and just slap Chris and feel like that was the solution to a joke, I think that was just like, it was unnecessary. You know what I'm saying? We are adults. We are way past the bullshit. There are so many other ways I think that it could have been dealt with. And on top of it, I really don't think, I think that we put so much emphasis on Chris he was trying to, you know, knock down Jada. I mean, okay, maybe, you know, some people are saying that he doesn't know about her alopecia. He doesn't know about all that stuff. I don't know. I don't know what they know and how much information they have. I just know that based on what happened, Will's reaction was unnecessary. Mm-hmm. It made him look more of a simp than it made him look like a hero that he wanted to be. Whatever he's trying to be, that wasn't the road to take.
Yeah. And, you know, you really mentioned something, you know, whatever he's trying to be or like that. I'm more interested on who or what made Will feel like he's not man enough, where he would have to go up and smack him. Right.
Jada.
Right. And that's my thing. From one black woman to another, like, we can't really walk around talking about protect black women, because you've been doing this man out of control for a long time. Like, I have trouble even watching that video because the face that he has that has now turned into a meme, I don't like to see people cry.
Yeah.
And that could have happened a different way. And it was like, she took pride, like, you know what I mean? Entanglement. And he's like, no, and what's an entanglement? What are we talking about? I know you ain't telling me what I think you're telling me with these cameras, and didn't even give him a chance to react the way maybe a normal person would react, or maybe want to have a conversation. She stripped that from him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, like, he says, you know, Tupac is dead. And the fact that Willow had to write a letter, how do you think that man felt? Where she's writing a letter to a man that is no longer living. And now, me personally, I don't think it was the stardom that attracted her, because I really do think, I believe in soul ties. When you have a soul tie with someone, it could be a friend, it could be an ex-lover, it could be your mate now. Right. Like, I have a best friend. She's almost the like identical of me. We've been through similar. We have a soul tie. When you have a soul tie with someone, you cannot fake the funk. Like, you marrying Will, I'm now questioning, was it because Pac was unavailable, or because he was living a life that you didn't want to live and you didn't want to change, so you settled for Will? Because that's what it looks like. It looks like, even with that whole open marriage, if he was cool with that whole entanglement situation wouldn't have affected him the way it did. Because if he was really cool with that. But if he is saying, no, if this is what my queen wants, then I need to do what my queen wants, because, you know, people are already telling me that she didn't really want me. She wanted Pac. So I need to do whatever I need to do to keep my queen happy. I really do think that, you know, that's whack. And that's very, you know, it's selfish of her. It is very selfish of her.
They say that she's emasculated him. I mean, on live TV, she's constantly putting Will in these positions where it's like he's the victim, or he's the one that's doing something wrong, or he's the one, you know, like he's the cause for her pain, or, you know, like it's always, that's the part that just frustrates me. And you can see that he's really trying to do something with his family, but she's the one that's caught up in this entanglement. She's the one that's trying to, she was unhappy. Like there was a scene that she said, she was like, I wanted to feel good. I just wanted to feel good. How
like that's okay.
That
like
on television, when you know you're married to someone who's a celebrity, that to, you know, someone who has a lot of fans, to a legend, and you're talking about, oh, well, it just made me feel good to sleep with somebody else. You know? I don't care how classy you make it, it's fucked up.
Yeah, and it really it is sad because, you know, and like I said, and Marquise, you can chime in because you're also married. I feel like as Black spouses, like we already kind of carry a lot. You know what I mean? We're kind of dealing with stuff that other couples may not be dealing with. You know, it's kind of necessary that in our community we have to have two people income. You know what I mean? Like we already have certain things that and hurdles that we're already jumping. So I really do think it is up to us to make sure that we are holding each other accountable when it comes to our mental health. And I really feel like I see a legend that is like, he's human.
Yes.
He's not Mike Lowry. He's not I Am Legend. He's not I Am Robot. He's not Men in Black. That looks like my husband. You know what I mean? And I say that to say that's a flawed man. That's a flawed father. But for me to just flaunt whatever it is, whatever agreement because I really think she forced him into that shit. I really do. So. But that's what I see. I see one of my brothers that's married. You know what I see? Like I wouldn't want that for any, you know, of my people. So, you know, Keith, how do you feel, you know, thinking about the mental health aspect of a Black man and a Black husband, a Black father?
First, I just want to, I think I want to correct, like not correct anybody, but I think I remember or I recall that Willow letter was when she was really younger, not Willow now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? So when she wrote that letter, it was like a child's writing. It looked like it was from when she was 3 or something, 4 when they first started writing or something. I don't know, but so I mean, I don't know if that, you know, changes anything. It was, but I would think like she's not writing it now, you know. So that would mean more if, you know, if Jada was like, you know, grieving or something like that still. I mean, people still probably do grieve. But you said what was your question again? For mental health?
Yeah, how do you feel about how widely, you know, mental health is within our community, and, you know, how do you deal with it being a husband and a father? Do you feel supported in your mental health? Do you ever need to check your mental health? You ever need to, you know, talk to anybody? Like how are you dealing with mental health as a Black man?
Hopefully better than Will, but I mean, he has all the resources and stuff, you know, not to say, you know, the money buys everything, but hopefully he gets the help he needs. But no, I mean, just like you said, Will reminds you of your husband. You know, Will's human. He's a regular man. He just has probably, you know, just talent, or he went a certain route and he made money. You know, that's all that is. So he's considered a star. Still an icon. I will never what's it called? Cancel Will. You know, this is cancel culture. I'm not gonna cancel Will for this. He's a man. He made a mistake. There's many others that made mistakes. White men that they you know, they got jobs the next week, the same day or whatever. You know what I mean? So, I for me though, I believe in mental health. I mean, I didn't before when I was younger, but now I do, and I've gotten help myself, and it's great. It's great. I didn't think I would like it, but it's not bad, man, and it helped me. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I can't say it didn't. And I suggest it for others and stuff like that. So I really believe in it, and it, you know, I really believe in it true heartedly. So,
All right, Juan. You know, I always be thinking about your mental health, my brother.
Well, see, I'm a unique fellow, you know. If anything, therapists need to talk to me to get them right, you know.
Answer the question before I come in, Chris Rock you.
See, such violence. Oh my God. See, people, this is what happening. You see how these Black women are intimidating men to violence.
Yeah, because you sound scared.
See, I'm in my Chris Rock moment, please, people.
Bro, yeah.
So, for me, I think I agree with Marquise. I'm not going to cancel Will, because to me, I feel that that's what people want. They want to put all ethnic people against each other. He made a mistake. It was a big, huge mistake because it was televised all over the world. But I think he should, like I said earlier, see multiple therapists. And I think this might not be the marriage for him. I think he probably wanted to be the next Denzel, where you never hear people of him and his wife. If they are having issues, it's at home. It's not in the public's eye. The only thing I know about Denzel is his movies and whatever little interviews he does. That's it. You know, and I think a lot of ethnic actors, Black, Hispanic, Asians, should take notice of that. Like, hey, I'm just gonna do what my roles in movies. I'm not gonna put my personal business out there. I hope my significant other doesn't. But to me, I think we'll really need to see a therapist, and he might even have to consider divorce, because if she is part of his mental breakdown, then it's, hey, you got to get away from whatever's toxic, and vice versa. If she feels that he's being toxic to her, then they're not a good match.
Right.
Yeah, but did you notice how in one of their videos, I'm sorry to interject, that it ended with like bad marriage for life? Like, that was the most toxic thing they could both say. They literally,
like they are kind of, and I don't know if you guys have Disney Plus, like but Will has this show on Disney Plus where he's like exploring like all these not weird places, but like adventurous places. Like he walked up to like a volcano and was like looking like all this death-defying stuff. And I feel like, girl, what are you doing to this Black man? Because I don't care. It's her.
But here's the thing, though. Okay, I do agree to some extent that she's an influence. I agree.
Oh yeah, she's a big influence.
However, he is still his own person. We cannot always say that it's other people's fault for our actions. Will needs to start taking accountability for himself. Okay,
absolutely.
He needs to realize for himself, all this stuff that he's doing, it doesn't seem like it's really penetrating to him. I feel like that self-love is not really penetrating very well with him, because he needs to see for himself, if this situation is not making him feel good as a man, it's not a situation for him.
Yes, and it seems more like
he completely blame Jada, because at the end of the day, she's still her own person. You can't blame her for everybody else, how they're reacting. Yes, she's an influence on Will. Yes, her reaction triggered Will, but Will still had a choice. He still had a choice, and he could have decided, you know what? I'll deal with Chris after this. I'm not going to get up and make a fool out of myself even more than the situation, because he made it worse than it was. It could have been like, damn, that joke was kind of like distasteful, but whatever. And we could have just kept the show going. I feel like that whole situation, not only that, it took away from everybody else getting an award that night.
Even himself.
The whole show was stolen. Nobody knows. Do you remember what else happened at the show? Do you remember any other big things? Anybody else that got awards? Do you know anything else?
I had to look up who else won awards, because I was like, damn, I must have missed the show, because that actually was produced by a Black man. His name is Will Packer. And so that actually robbed him of that moment too, because now it wants to see, every time you let Black people run stuff, there you go, they slapping people around. Yeah, not to mention Will was asked to leave and he was not going to leave. I mean, so if we're playing, definitely he had an opportunity to not do that. I'm just playing devil's advocate. That was a long walk from the seat to the stage. And we see that your voice can be heard from your seat to that stage. Jada could have very well said, Will, sit that down. We'll catch him backstage. Or she could have grabbed him. Or she could have did whatever. But in laughing, homegirl, that's not it. That's not it. So yeah, I do think that aside from the marriage that he is in, yes, he's flawed as a person, because even in his book, he talks about all type of stuff that Jada wasn't even there for. So we can't blame everything on him. I mean, on her. Right. And he definitely needs some work. But remember, you said something, we can't make anybody do anything. I don't know if you guys remember, there was a show on Netflix. Remember the case with the girl that was texting her boyfriend who killed himself? She was texting him, why don't you just do it? Why don't you just do it? All that other stuff. Nowadays, the more we talk about mental health and PTSD and, you know, how bro batters women's syndrome, all of that stuff, the more we talk about that, that stuff still has to apply to where it should be applied to. And I say that to say, did she make him go up there? No, but she didn't stop him. She did not stop him. She had every opportunity to stop him and never did. Because and the only response, but that's toxic in herself, really, right? Like, wanting to see your man, y'all, he just ruined his career. Unless it's gonna be Lee Daniels or Tyler Perry, he better hope he get another damn box office because there's no more Independence Day. That stuff's done.
I mean, I don't think Will's career is over. I think it's far from, I don't think it's over because his fans are strong and we do understand that he's human. I mean, we saw the human side, like you said, you know, we saw a vulnerable side of Will that we probably haven't seen in a very long time.
Right. Let Chuck jump in because he popped in all cool in the car with the hand on the steering wheel. He looked like he about to race. He probably had F1. You got F1?
Go, Giles, go.
Punch it.
No, I'm at home. I'm at home. I was just dealing with a situation, family member.
Did he slap someone?
I'm sorry, I'm late. Huh?
I said, did that family member slap someone?
Are you about to slap someone?
Nah, ain't nobody slap no one. But the way I see it, you know, truthfully, the slap was a distraction basically because everybody's talking about that slap, right? But they're not talking about what actually else is going on in the world. I mean, you got a lot of stuff in the news that, you know, is being pushed on the back burner because, you know, okay, Will went up there and slapped Chris Rock. If I was Chris Rock, hey, I would have gave him a rock. Because you ain't gonna walk up and slap me in my damn face, you know. And I mean, it was a joke. And I didn't know anything about her having alopecia, you know. And I mean, I was infatuated with Jada. I mean, from what was it? Jason's Lyrics. I had somebody recreate that for me. Even Set It
Look
Off.
At that smile. Oh, look at that smile when you talk about it.
Hey, trench coat and red pumps. But that's another story. No, but I mean, him going up there slapping old boy for saying a joke. I mean, that's what comedians do. They say stuff to get a rise out of you. I mean, we've gone to comedy shows where, I mean, we happen to be sitting in the back and Tommy Davidson happened to walk by me and he slapped me because he hit me on the shoulder. And he was like, damn, brother, you tore that chicken up. But it wasn't even me. It was the girl that was sitting beside me. And I just happened to be sitting there and it looked like I was eating it. I just laughed it off because, I mean, hey, that's what he gets paid for. I mean, me and Mark, we went to go see Tracy Morgan. Man, we lost our breath from laughing so hard when he was just cracking on everybody in the crowd. So I mean, it's a give, it's a give and take when it comes to a comedy show. Yeah. Well, a comedian, period. I mean, yeah, he could have. I don't know if he knew about it because I didn't even know about the damn thing. I mean, hey, yeah. I'm part of the Shiny Head crew too, but it's not alopecia.
You'll be good in G.I. Jane too, though.
My military days is over, and Buds, I was an Army Ranger. No.
Dmitry, what do you think about Jada's role in that moment? Do you think she could have stopped him? Do you think it was like he was too far gone anyway?
Yeah, no, I think she definitely could have stopped him as he was getting up, before he started walking up the stairs. She could have even asked, why are you getting up? What are you doing? Yeah, she definitely had a role in her being his wife. You would have assumed that at least that little interaction would have happened about why are you getting up? Yeah, I think it was preventable and she definitely could have stepped in.
Yeah, I mean, even after he sat down, she didn't rub the bag. You all right, babe? It was nothing. She watched him sit down and was like,
whatever.
I mean,
she gave her boy the side eye and everything, after the joke was said. I mean, and she laughed and she gave him the side eye. That's when, you heard Chris Rock say,
something about King Richard or something, you know, coming up, and you know, I'm thinking, you know, he just stood up, but when because I didn't watch it, I happened, you know, somebody sent me a text message, and I'm like, okay, all right, well, you know, when I get a chance, then my wife, she was like, you know, did you see what happened? I'm like, babe, you know, I'm watching basketball right now, so
Right.
I'm not a Oscars or anything
Right.
like that,
Did it
but
happen on the court?
you know,
I didn't see it.
I'm just saying, I happen to be watching basketball, so you know, my Sunday nights is either watching Comedy Central or one of the like Family Guy, something on TV. You know, then I'm out for the night because I got to get up for work.
Right.
But you know, when I seen the text message and stuff, and I'm just like, okay, you know, all right. And then when he yelled, you know, keep my effing, you know, wife's name out your mouth. I'm like, well, if you can yell all of that, if you could say it that loud, you could have said that from where you were sitting at instead of going up there, you know, disrespecting this man.
Facts. Because as God has said, it did take away from the whole entire night. His acceptance speech wasn't even an acceptance speech. It was a damn apology, but not to the person who he slapped.
No.
It
looked like a broken man.
It did.
He looked like a broken man.
He looked completely defeated.
And what's crazy is like simultaneously he's getting an award for being such a successful person.
For being a best actor. So now, like for all the conspiracists that thought that COVID is the thing and all this, no, there's no war, they could very well look at that like he's just acting. He didn't really smack him. But Marquise, what do you think about him not pressing charges? Because when I found out that he wasn't pressing charges, kind of like when Diddy came up there and was like, you know, Chris, we're going to work that back up stage. We're going to work that out like family. I felt like Chris wasn't pressing charges because that's kind of like, you know, code. But you think something else?
No, I thought it was honorable that Chris did not press charges. I heard he was being pressured beyond pressured from the police department to get Will Smith arrested, for it to be a scene, for it to be an issue, for him to get arrested. Yeah, I just gotta, you know, you get more, you just gotta pound on more respect for Chris Rock, man. You gotta like, you know, he goes down more than the legend. You know what I'm saying? When you speak his name, you gotta kind of add some more
respect on it.
Yeah, put some respect on my name. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I mean,
and you see his brother talking crazy.
Yeah. His brother was talking trash. Tony Rock was in his stand-up. He said, "Yeah, we got 10 brothers."
I didn't even know he had a brother.
You come on this stage. Yeah, you got another comic brother named Tony Rock.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
He's funny.
I didn't know.
Yeah, he is funny.
He challenged Will to come on the stage and smack him, and he called Jada out of her name. He called her a bitch, which was disrespectful.
See what I mean? And now it's the never-ending cycle of black people disrespecting black people.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Juan.
Is he here? He might be. He's working.
I don't know. He might. Oh, yeah, there you go. Oh, that's him going on.
I don't know. Pick another person. I know what Juan's doing. I don't know what that is.
So, all right. So, what do we think this couple? Do we think the couple needs to heal? I think before the couple heals, I feel like they individually need healing. I do think therapy is in order for everybody involved. And just in my opinion, I really feel like Will and Jada's marriage is too toxic to come back from. I could be wrong. And I don't really like to tell people that they should break up or whatever, because people, and Marquise, I'm pretty sure, and Juan, when you were married, and Chuck now, and ladies, if you guys are married, you know, when we vent about, I can't stand him or I can't stand her, you know, I feel like people aren't gonna really tell you, well, then leave him or not. You know, people that really have your best interest in mind. So I don't want to say that I want to see that family break up, but I do think that maybe they need to explore what both makes them happy, and then also explore what both is upsetting or triggering them. Because if one of their triggers is just the other person, whether it be their presence, or I don't like when, you know, you get sad around the house during Pac's birthday or whatever it could be. If it's something that the other person is not willing to change, then it's not fixable. So I think everybody definitely needs to examine what I need to heal. Chuck, you gonna start smiling is what you're gonna stop doing, because I'm having a Dr. Phil moment.
Well, listen,
hey,
here,
man,
Dr.
you can have
Phil.
your Dr. Phil moment all you want. I'm just saying, I mean,
We go with you next. What they need to do to heal.
a lot of folks is gonna, a lot of folks are gonna say what they want to say. I mean, especially, I'm not gonna just say especially women, but I mean, folks are gonna say what they're gonna say just to see that that home broken up, because hey, that's their opportunity to slide in. I mean, that's a perfect opportunity for that, and that's what a lot of folks look for. I mean, I tell my wife the same thing. I'm like, okay, me, when your friends have, they have their little kids parties and stuff, I have no problem going. But my thing is, I don't want to be the only guy there or the only dad there. That's my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because, when you got a bunch of women and a bunch of kids, that's fine. But, here I am sitting there. I'm basically sitting up under my wife because, I really don't know. I know a couple of her friends, but I mean, what are we going to talk about? That's the football game from the other night, or the Celtics game, or we're going to talk politics or what?
Talk about Russia.
Nah, we ain't gonna talk about no Russia. I mean, when I get into stuff like that, it's not politics to me, man. Right. Because everybody has their own opinion.
Right.
So but I'm just saying, hey, people, they want to see that. They want to see the chaos because they live off of that. Because okay, the more toxic it gets, that means they got a better opportunity to slide it in there.
Right.
And it's that's what a lot of people live for. They live for the toxicity. They don't care if you heal or what. The only thing they care about is can I slide in there and benefit from that?
You know who you sound
because
like?
Both of them got money.
Right. That's the thing. They both they have.
They're a power couple. They're a power couple.
Absolutely. With that last comment, that kind of reminded me of something Juan would say. So Juan, what do you think they need to do to heal other than get divorced?
Damn, you taking away my shine there.
Right. Next.
You know what? I'm gonna take a wonderful line from a wonderful man named Future. She belonged to the streets. He should have known better. I'm just saying the writing was on the wall, but it goes to be, we know people and seen people that are so in love with a person that they don't see how toxic this person can be for them. Not for both men and women. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. We all have seen it as young people and to our current age, that we always see one individual in a relationship that's so in love with a person that they don't see the flaws or the harm that this person is putting them, whether it be mental, emotional, or physical, right, for men and women. So right. To me is, again, hopefully those who are close to Will tell him, hey, brother, I think y'all two need to take some time apart. She needs to go get help with her issues. You need help with your issues. And then once you're in a better place, you can decide if you want to continue with this unique relationship that they have, or is it best to just go your separate ways and start from scratch and say, hey, it didn't work. It played out in front of the world. And, you don't even have to say nothing. Just say it didn't work and we just moved on and we're just good friends. Case closed. The rest of the world already know. You know right. What I mean? So it's nothing to say like, hey, your relationship screwed up. Your 2 kids from that marriage is screwed up. The only normal one is from your first mother of your child because he wasn't around to deal with this craziness. So, I'm just saying, again, I got to agree with Future. She belonged to the streets.
You sound like a great therapist. You should really slide into them DMs and tell them that you're available.
Yeah, I don't think they could afford my rate. You know what I mean? I'm too smooth for that, Because I'll be like, yo, Will, kick it to the curve, cut her a check. You know what I mean? Let's go hit some other countries. Get you some nice ladies to keep your mind off of this nonsense.
No, thank you. He's in enough trouble. He's in enough trouble. Miss Meech, what do Will, Jada, and Chris need to do to heal?
Well, I agree with you that they need some individual healing. You can't really try to heal a relationship or if both people are coming from broken spaces. So if that means them separating, taking time apart to really relearn who they are, without that person constantly there, then that's what needs to happen. But I do also think it's the individuals to make that choice for themselves and take ownership and accountability in their healing. Because like you said, like when people ask about, their relationship, maybe it was your opinion that you don't tell people, you know what to do. You don't jump on, oh, you should leave them. And I honestly, I don't take that approach either, because whether I tell them that it's not a good environment or that it is, they're still going to do what they want to do.
Goddess, what do you think? What do they need? Do they need to light some candles, some incense, do some yoga, retail shopping?
I mean, let me tell you something. I think that Will needs to really needs to evaluate himself. He needs to take a step back. Number one. I really feel like they need to stop putting too much of their business in the media as well, because I think that also influences a lot. Because I feel like with everything that was going on, that's kind of what also, made him kind of triggered him. Like, I got to go up there and show that, I'm there for I could stand up for my wife. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like so much of the media, we have to admit, a lot of the media has been kind of coming down on Will, trying to make him look like he's a simp, trying to make him look like he's weak. He's never going to be like Tupac. Like, you know what I'm saying? And trust me, they see all of that stuff. So I feel like, number one, they really need to kind of like pipe down with putting too much of their business out. Like how you said Denzel, you don't know what's going on in Denzel's marriage. Denzel keeps his relationship out of the public eye. Okay? At least for the most part. That's one thing. I feel like he does need to take time for himself. He's already said that he's been taking vacations. I think he takes vacations with the ex-wife. That was something else that I seen online not too long ago. Him and the first wife are still cool with Jada, whatever. Sometimes he goes on vacation without Jada with that ex-wife. That's kind of weird.
Girl, they ain't no kind of about it. And I hope my husband hear me too. We're not taking blended family road trips, sweetheart. I'll take my bonus baby, but I'm not taking the bonus baby mama.
But it happens. Alicia Keys, she goes on vacation,
girl,
with baby mama and with what's his name? I mean, it's happening. Whatever.
Yeah, see, AP, she used to be the homie until she was the homewrecker. But we can get on that later, because
we can get on that later. But Will needs to go back into finding himself a little bit. I do feel like he needs to, if he wants to show that he's a strong individual, I'm not going to say he's a strong man, a strong human being, he needs to take accountability for what he did, number one. He cannot, as much as I agree that Jada's an influence on his behavior, he cannot pinpoint Jada the reason for his actions. He's got to be like, you know what? I'm not standing for this. You want to go and have, you know what I'm saying, entanglements? Go do that shit someplace else. You know, I mean, that's just my personal feeling. I'm the kind of person that when something doesn't seem like it's right for me, I'm cutting it completely off. Slice right off. Yeah.
But that's part of that healing. You know what I mean? He needs to kind of dig down to who he is to really kind of figure out what's going to make him happy, what's going to make him heal.
If you watch some of, like, he did this, he was on stage. I don't know what event it was, but I saw a few clips when he was on stage and he was again crying. He's like constantly crying, which also tells me that he still has not healed. There's still a lot of unresolved trauma and emotion going on inside of him. But he talked about how you have to forgive. You have to forgive. Yes, I agree that, yes, you should forgive people enough for you to walk away and move on with your life. But it doesn't mean that you're supposed to allow yourself to be constantly taken advantage of or made a fool of. You know what I'm saying? Forgive means, okay, you know what? This is clearly you have an issue. I'm going to walk away from the situation.
But it takes a strong person to come into that, especially when that person that is on the receiving side is your spouse, is the person that you vow to love and all of that. So, yeah, I mean, I really want to thank all of you guys because, listen, last week I was unable to attend. My baby girl turned 2, but she's more like 22. So that slap was like the least of what I was dealing with because Shorty was all up and through it and cupcakes, it was crazy. So I'm glad to hear that you guys had a really great show last week. Thank you for letting me host this week. So Juan, I love to mess with him because that is just like the one I like to mess with. But, you know, I was coming in here kind of feeling a little nervous about how you guys would feel like how everybody else's perspectives were. Because let me tell you, I didn't already have to hang up on my mama about talking about this and that wasn't right. And why you taking sides? Girl, bye. She don't want to hear it. Yes. She telling me like that it's just all one-sided and just this craziness. So thank you guys for copping on and talking about, you know, to me, I think it was a slap heard across the world, because just like Chuck said, now we talking about the slack and we not talking about it cost me $80 to fill up my Kia Telluride because this price is out of control. You see it?
We're gonna slap the gas prices. We're gonna slap some gas prices.
Charles, listen, you got a bike or a scooter or something that y'all can let me borrow, because I can't do it.
It might be cheaper to
Yo, you seen all those people out there waiting for that free gas on
in Norwood? Did you go?
People was out there at 9 o'clock the night before. So I mean, you must be out of, unless you live within a mile of that place. I mean, what's the point? It was no point.
I by the time I got word, I had already put the money in my car, so you know, whatever.
Man, I put 75 in my car alone.
Right. So Chuck, I need you to, while I'm asking you this question, I'm getting ready to type it in the chat. Don't mind me. Can you please promote the family business? Because yet again, I have forgot it. I'm typing it right now.
All right,
and it's on Etsy. I know that much. It's on Etsy.
Yeah, it's on Etsy. It's on the family business. New Creations 21. Excuse me.
New Creations.
It's already down there, Eva.
Oh, well, I'm typing in my notes. Can I do that?
You know, it's the missus. It's something that my wife started during the pandemic. What happened was, like, while my boys was doing remote learning, they had art projects, and it was making bracelets. And you know, she was amped, she, you know, to help them out and stuff, you know, because she has an early education, childhood education degree. So I'm like, well, you know, boys, either you're gonna sit home with dad, or you're gonna, you know, you get the opportunity to be with mom. Who you choose?
Not you.
They said mom, because they know dad'll be in there playing Call of Duty while they doing their learning. No, I wouldn't. I'm joking. But no, we flipped on it. And you know, I ended up, you know, having to go to work. But I mean, she didn't mind. I mean, she got to work on her what she went to school for. Mm-hmm. But like I said, she got passionate in it, so she started making like doing the beaded ones herself. And you know, then she asked me, you know, what do I think about her doing it, you know, as a business. I said, whatever you want, man. Whatever's gonna keep you occupied during that time. So she started making the bracelets. Marquise has one.
Nice.
And we're gonna
every time I'm on Etsy, I always forget, and I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah,
it's all right. But we're gonna start doing body stuff eventually. I just gotta, you know, work my chemistry again. You know, get back into my chemical thinking. I wasn't a street pharmacist, but I was a nerd in science class. But we just trying to get the balance right for everybody's skin complexion and stuff. So, you know, look out for that. New Etsy's 21.
New Etsy's 21. Yep, I wrote it on my little side. I got like sticky notes over here. No doubt. So let's go down the line. Miss Goddess, say something positive, promote your stuff. All of that.
Well, the first thing I want to promote is self-love. Let me tell you something, okay? You cannot love anybody else until you first learn to love yourself. That is what I believe, and I will always believe that. Because because love starts from inside out. So once you start loving yourself, you just start kind of like pushing that out to other people. I think that we really need to appreciate and give gratitude every single day, no matter what you're dealing with. If you wake up every day, be grateful, because some of us are not. All right. So it's one thing that we got to really be grateful about that. I want to promote my podcast, Love Soap 420. It's on Spotify. It's on Anchor FM. And Natalie Calvin Studios. I'm like, well, here's how I remember. Natalie Calvin Studios. We have some artists that we're about to exhibit next week. So if you check out nataliecalvin.us, you'll be able to see the new artists. I love to talk about art and NFTs and all that kind of stuff. So just, you know, like, share, and follow for more.
Awesome. Okay, Miss Meech, what you got for us?
So I'd like to promote my first book of poems, Listen to Me, a collection of poetry and prose. is set to be released coming soon. You'd like to follow me in my journey and the release date, please follow me on Instagram at Meech_. Also, I'd like to promote the value and benefit of cash value life insurance.
Facts.
Nice.
Say it one time for the people in the back, because let me tell you, girl, if you knew my situation. But I'm working better. I'm doing better. Okay, Juan, what you are promoting?
Well, this is what I'm promoting. First, let's big up Chris for not falling into the trap of trying to take down another black man. I want to, give him credit for that and standing up. You know what I mean? Because the rest of the world would have said, well, I would have pressed charges. I would have sued him. No, because he's going through his own personal problems and issues to overcome. So mad props to Chris. Also to Will Smith. I hope the world pay attention. You know what happened when somebody tells you she belonged to the streets? Don't mess with her.
Yo. All right. You
thought I was gonna let it slide? Oh no, because she belonged to the streets.
Boy, put yourself on mute.
Listen, it's cool. Jada, I'll take you.
Excuse me, she's not getting no shine on my time. No, thank you.
No, I was gonna say, we could have an entanglement for $9.99. I'll give you the best time of your life.
He's such a hooker. All right, Keith, yo, sir. Other than this dope podcast that you have, let me take over real quick. We were trying to surprise all of y'all. I've been sending him stuff all week. Like, what do you think about this? What about this? What about this? You think they're gonna like this? So he's probably ready for me to leave him alone for the weekend. But promote my brother. Thank you again.
Yo, let's shout out to Eva, man, for taking over and doing an awesome job, a great job on the podcast the first time. Hopefully she exactly right. Let's do
okay, Eva, doing her thing.
Juan, I don't hear nothing.
I guess she did all right,
All right, she did great.
She did all right,
Self-love yourself so you can not hate on me.
I'm not hating. I'm just saying all the emotional abuse and mental abuse she's giving me. People, I hope y'all paying attention. Well, I feel your pain.
I didn't smack you though.
See, there you go. See, and they wonder why black women, no man wants to deal with them. See that violence. You need therapy. You need help. You need self-love.
You're right. I do. I'm trying to wait for him to go so then I could go so I could get with my self-love.
I sense a lot of anger and hostility coming from you. You might need to meditate.
Keys, what's popping? I like that hoodie. I was about to.
But we gotta promote the Passive Podcast. It's a Passive Podcast hoodie, man. I mean, we got the THHC podcast as well. I got that hoodie, and we got all other types of gear and hoodies, and we got like t-shirts, we got tank tops, we got like women sportswear and workout wear. So like my daughter and I have a clothing line, so just look in the description, check it out. And Cash App, man, we ain't scared to ask for the Cash App or the Venmo, dog. I ain't gonna lie, dog. We do this stuff for free, man. Stop playing, man.
Hey, stop playing, man. You heard the man. I will go last. Thank you for letting me host everybody. So I have a nonprofit cheer team, Elite Vibe Athletics. If you spell it out, it does look like it says Eva, but don't worry about that. It's just your mind playing tricks on you. It stands for Elite Vibe Athletics. I have a clinic coming up during the school vacation in April over at the Do It Center, the 19th and the 20th. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook. I have tryouts coming up in May, but most importantly, and next time I see you guys, hopefully I have the invitation done. I am throwing an official launch party. It is in person. It is not going to be Zoom. You can wear your mask if you need to, whatever you do to stay safe. Absolutely do that. But please, please, please come out. I will be sending everybody invitations. It is our launch party. It's just, we're having vendors. We're going to have food. Hopefully we can have a passive podcast table out there with some hoodies and stuff. We can have new creations, all of that stuff. I have tables, for sale, all of that good stuff. And we're really just celebrating my female athletes. So that's one thing I really do want to shout out, just coming up off of Women's History Month. Me and Juan got into it just about every Sunday, but whatever. I'm going to return the favor during Father's Day and his birthday. But I really want to shout out my female athletes because, you know, as a mom of 4, I do have 3 boys. I get a lot of the football and the basketball support. We got girls that's tossing girls in the air and cartwheeling, all of that stuff. We are athletes. Say the same love for those girls. Okay, just when you see that, make sure you just shout them out. Thank you again, everybody, for coming on here. I really appreciate you. I love seeing y'all faces. I love heckling with all of y'all. So again, just thank you. And I'm handing it off for these last 20 seconds over to the host, the host with the most.
Oh, thank you. You didn't have to do that. Again, she belonged to the streets, Will.
I told you to mute him. I don't understand. You already hear this voice I got. I don't got time for his playing.
Someone give her a hug, please. She needs a hug.
No.
Oh, Jesus, such violence.
Again, man, you know, everybody appreciate everybody coming on. Red Charles, you know, being my co-host and good friends, man. Goddess Zabby, we do got to check out your NFTs, man. I got to talk to you offline about NFTs. We got to do another NFT show as well on here to teach our people here, you know, not to be scared of NFTs and kind of to dive in, not to dive into, of course, do their research and due diligence, but to pretty much kind of get there soon. Shout out to Dmitra, Miss Meech, man. Shout out to Eva, like I said, for doing the show, man. Great job, man. Appreciate it. You are a superstar. All right.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
That's it, man. Let's get out of here, man. Y'all remember Love Over Hate, man. This is the Passive Podcast, man. And try to make some income out there. This is what we do it for. We want to know if anybody has any additional income ideas to add to the screen below. Does anybody know anything else? I always ask it. You never know if there's something new in the system to make passive income. Anybody before this, and then we can get out of here.
I kind of want to share something real quick.
There you go.
And maybe you could put it on the description. It's called Office Suite Lifestyle, and it's an online digital marketing for anybody that wants to become a new entrepreneur. If you're kind of like just starting out and trying to figure out how to build a website or how to just get started or how to find different, you know, ways to make passive income and things like that, you can check out officesuitelifestyle.com. So I kind of want to share that with you guys.
Make sure you send me the information and I can throw it in the description. Oh, that's a way to end the show. Yay. Let's end the show. You got to end the show now, Eva.
Says my birthday. She's pointing to the YouTube because she wants y'all to get off so she can watch Coco. Say bye. Say happy Sunday, y'all.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Say thank you.
Happy birthday.
Oh. All right, man. See ya.
We out here, man. Y'all remember Love Over Hate, man.
Because
peace.
Peace.